Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. It's been a few days, I think, since my last video offering, and I don't really plan them as such. When something comes up, it comes up, and something came up, so here I am. So I just finished listening to a wonderful podcast that I mentioned to everyone, Michael Mead's Mosaic Voices, a fantastic podcast that I derive a tremendous amount of inspiration from. Michael's work soothes my many of my concerns in a way. And I highly recommend exposing yourself to his material. But during this week's podcast, he mentioned a quote, and this is what I love about learning. It's sometimes not the lesson you're learning then and there, but during that lesson, you'll get a thread. And if you're inquisitive enough, you'll take that thread and go and do some discovery of your own. So Michael mentioned a quote by the Irish poet Samuel Beckett, who has some amazing quotes and bodies of work, a prolific playwright, an individual Ireland is very proud of and should be. So this is the quote by Samuel Beckett that really caught my attention, and I'd like to spend a few minutes discussing it after I share with you the actual quote. So here it goes. The confusion is not my invention. We cannot listen to a conversation for 5 minutes without being aware of the confusion. It is all around us, and our only chance now is to let it in. The only chance of renovation is to open our eyes and see the mess. It is not a mess you can make sense of. So there's a tremendous amount there, and I mean, just the word confusion. The confusion is not my invention, and that we cannot listen to a conversation for 5 minutes without being aware of the confusion. It is all around us, and how true is that for today? I mean, we truly do live in chaotic times. Right now, whether it's the United States of America, whether it's Syria, whether it's Turkey, whether it's Iran, whether it's the Middle East or parts of the Middle East, whether it's in Hong Kong, I mean, the list, China, the list goes on and on and on. Fires burning in Lebanon. Whew, I mean, yeah, talk about confusion, talk about chaos. It is all around us, and it is in every single conversation. And it's so easy to lose all hope. It's so easy to lose all faith. I really don't blame a lot of young people for losing faith in any type of order, any type of justice. The darkness around us is deep, as the American poet William Stafford said. But Michael Mead, in his podcast, said something very interesting. He always says interesting things. But one of the things he mentioned is how, in society today, we are conditioned to move away and avoid disorder. Because confusion is disorder. You have confusion, disorder, or chaos, and the opposite of chaos is cosmos or specific order. So you have these two polarities of cosmos and chaos. One is complete disorder, and the other is very specific, calculated, measured order. Like the universe, the movement of the stars and the moon and the planets is very, very specific. It's not random. Um, so, because we're so conditioned to move away, in fact, we're more conditioned to avoid it. Whenever there's confusion, disorder, or what we call chaos, we automatically assume this is a bad thing and we need to move well away from it as quickly as possible. But what if, and this is a theme that I see in so many different fields, what if the only way to get to order is through that disorder? What if the only way to get uh, a stability is to go through a tremendous amount of instability? What if the only way to get security is to go through a tremendous amount of insecurity? What if that's the only way? And if we don't, as Samuel Beckett says, he says the only chance of renovation, and you can substitute the word for renovation for renewal or realization. I mean, it really is up to you, I suppose. I mean, his words here are renovation, but I see it, I feel it to mean uh, realization or renewal. The only chance of renovation is to open our eyes and see the mess. It is, and the line before that, it said, it's all around us, and our only chance now is to let it in. This is a really big deal for me. The only chance now is to let it in. Let this confusion in. Let this chaos in. And that is the scariest thing ever. To let the darkness, let the confusion in. It's like a stranger we do not want to have. So somebody's knocking on our door. Rumi wrote a poem about that, or something connected to it. We hear a knock at the door, and it scares the hell out of us. It is unexpected. Nobody's supposed to be there, and we cannot deny. We cannot deny there's a knock on the door, and our only chance here. This knock on the door has sent us into confusion, has sent us into insecurity. And it keeps on knocking. It doesn't stay quiet, it keeps knocking. And the only chance we have is to let it in. Do the brave thing and go towards that door and let this confusion, let this insecurity, let this instability in. That's the only chance we have, because the only other option is to avoid it, is to ignore it. And that is the worst thing we can do. The worst thing we can do is ignore the reality that is right in front of us. For example, in our part of the world, it's the worst thing. Forget our part of the world, because we're all connected now. I can't speak to you as a person from the Arab world, because I'm not just a person from the Arab world. I might be rooted in the Arab world. The Arab world may be where I come from, where my ancestors come from. But there's stuff that's happening in the other side of the world, whether it's North America, whether it's China, that directly affects me, and what I do also affects them. So when we're all of us at this moment of time, when we're all going through this confusion of what the hell is going on, our only chance is to look deeper into that and not pretend it's not happening. It's like a bully in school. It's not gonna get any better by you ignoring it. It's like a health issue. It's not gonna get any better by you pretending it's not there, or you not looking into it further and doing the uncomfortable thing of facing it. That's just a recipe for disaster. And if we go back to the point that I made earlier, if you have on one side disorder and chaos, and on the other side you have order and cosmos, and the only way to get to order is through the disorder, then if you avoid it If you avoid going into this disorder, into this confusion, this discomfort, then you're not going to get to any place that is orderly, and that's what you ultimately want. That's We want things to be orderly, settled, accurate, and precise. But there's only one way to get there, and I'm sorry to report that that's the deal. We're here. We're here to get to our own order, our own cosmos as an individual that is part of this universe, and the only way to get there is through a massive amount of chaotic disorder. And the more we train ourselves to embrace that reality, the the quicker we will overcome, the quicker we will get to what Samuel Beckett refers to, renovation, or what I see as renewal or realization. So if you do have disorder, chaos in your life, please know that there's something on the other side of that. Don't ignore it. Don't pretend it's not there. I know everything in our conditioning, from school to society to everything, is geared towards helping us not go there. And we're in good company because most people don't. That's why most people, in my humble opinion, suffer needlessly. They're in a lot of pain that is self-inflicted, that is unproductive. The pain of going into the confusion, going into the darkness, in order to get to the order and our place in the cosmos, that is worth it. That is really, really worth it. And it's something I'm embarking on at this moment of time. It's scary, and there's really no other way to do it. But I hope you will, in your own way, join me on the journey of renovating this whole entire world. And I'm not asking myself for you to solve the problems of the world. What I am asking of myself, and inviting you to do the same, is to ask you to help solve your individual challenge, your individual chaos. Look at the chaos and confusion in your life. Look at it closely, square on, eyeball to eyeball, and do as the poet Samuel Beckett says, let it in. Don't dismiss it. Don't hope that it's going to go away and ignore you. Do the very brave thing. Let it in. Let it in and engage, and something will emerge from that that will help you renew, that will help you renovate, to use his words. And once that happens to you, it happens to once it truly starts happening to you, it will emanate from you and affect those around you. And because we're so interconnected now, like I said, from China to Lebanon, the North America, your problem is my problem now, and my problem is your problem now. So if you're able to deal with your confusion and get to a place of order within yourself, get to a place of cosmic balance within yourself, then I get the benefit of that. And that's worth it. And that's worth it for all of us. So I wish you all well. I wish you all courage and bravery in going into the confusion, going into the darkness, and may we all be pilgrims and martyrs even on the journey towards our own cosmic inheritance. That's it from me. See you soon, inshallah.